Hi everyone. So in this series of videos, we are going to be looking at one of the most overlooked topics of any ethical hacking courses or any of those information security related courses out there on the internet. And we are going to be focusing on Active Directory penetration testing. So let's get started. We will first look at what are the functionalities of an Active Directory and what are the components of an Active Directory, followed by which we will build our own lab setup to attack and defend Active Directories, followed by which we will actually perform the exploits and look into the concepts of Active Directory. So let's get started. So what is an Active Directory? So Active Directory is a product which has been developed by Microsoft. So you can think of it as something of a phone book for Windows, which can store these networked resources like users, printers, computers, etc. So it consists of a lot of services, and all of these run on Windows Server to manage permissions of the resources that I had just mentioned. So all of this data that is stored in an Active Directory environment is stored in the form of an object. Now object is a single element such as a particular user or a group of users or an application or a device. So the most breakable amount of unit of a Active Directory is an object. So Active Directory categorizes its objects by name and its attributes. So let's say we have an account with Contoso at Microsoft.com and we want to find out what are its attributes. So one of the things we can find out is this is a service account, or this is a user account, or is this account a guest user, or it's an administrative user. So all of these are its attributes. Now, coming to the services that Active Directory runs, we will be taking a look at many of these services, but the key point to notice here is that the main service of an Active Directory is something called a domain service, which is also known as ADDS. ADDS stores directory information and handles the interaction of the user with the domain. So everything that a user can possibly interact with, be it the policies or the groups or the objects or the user accounts, service accounts, all of these interactions are controlled by the domain services. And furthermore, any server that hosts the Active Directory domain services is called the domain controller, which is also sometimes referred to as DC. Now, why are we learning about Active Directory? So, a quick research about the history of Active Directory. Active Directory has been identified to be present in 95% of the Fortune 1000 companies that implement the service in their networks. So you can imagine the amount of usage that Active Directory has in the current world in real world situations of organizations. Alright, so Active Directory is also the most commonly used identity management service in the world. Furthermore, what makes Active Directory penetration testing really interesting is that it can be exploited without ever attacking patchable exploits. This means that we do not have to particularly go and look for misconfigurations of exploits or version controls. So let's say if we are going to be if we are going to be performing penetration testing on a web application, let's say, then if we find out Apache is the web server that the web application is running on, and furthermore we also find out that it has some version details of say 1.1 or 1.2. So what our first step is going to be is to go to Google and research about Apache 1.1 or 1.2 exploits, right? So Active Directory is quite different in the sense we are going to be abusing the features of an Active Directory. So we are actually going to find flaws in the way Active Directory functions. All right. So many of these times it's all about the right policies that are not in place. Active Directory has a lot of policies that should be in place. Let's say the group of objects, the password complexities, there are multiple policies, and many of the times during assessment you will come across policies that are just not in place. So there are two types of components of an Active Directory. There are the physical components and the logical components. We will first start looking at the physical components. In specific, we will look at two of the most important physical components of an Active Directory environment: the domain controllers and the Active Directory data stores. So as mentioned before, domain controller is just a server that hosts the Active Directory data store, or sorry, Active Directory domain services role. I'm sorry, the abbreviations are really confusing. So Active Directory domain services are hosted on a domain controller server. All right. So while you will be building a lab, you will be finding out how we will be promoting an Active Directory domain service to a domain controller. So for now, all you can keep in mind is that domain controller is the master of all the servers. It is the head of all the servers. All right. So there are some properties of Active Directory domain controller. So let's see at some. So one of the most important things and notable things about a domain controller is that it hosts a copy of the entire ADDS directory store. All right. So it provides authentication and authorization services to user accounts for them to log in into the domain. All right. Third, we will also see that there are some components called forests, trees, domains, etc. So for now, you can keep in mind that Active Directory's domain controllers helps in performing replication in between these domains and forests, etc., which is also a really important feature. I will just show you that in a couple of slides now. Fourth, it also allows administrative access to manage user accounts and network resources, which goes without saying that domain controller compromise is the most important information that a penetration tester can grab onto. Moving on to the next physical component, Active Directory data store. Now, Active Directory data store contains the database files and the processes that store and manage directory information for users, services, and applications. The key takeaway when talking about Active Directory data stores is the ntds.dit file. Now, this .dit file has all of the information potentially present in an Active Directory environment, and by default, it is stored in the system root's ntds folder on most of the domain controllers. And also, this ntds.dit file is accessible only through the domain controller and the processes and protocols that can be controlled by a domain controller. Moving on to the logical components of an Active Directory, we will be taking a look at the mentioned logical components such as domains, trees, forests, organizational units, trusts, objects, etc. So domains. Domains are used to group and manage objects in an organization. So an object could be as simple as a user or a contact or a group or any of the service accounts or anything literally that can be stored in an organizational unit. So domains are used to group all of these objects of an organization. So an example for domain would look something like contoso.com. So domains can function as an administrative boundary for applying policies to groups of objects. All right. So the policies that are applied on the objects are controlled by domains. It also provides a way to implement authentication and authorization boundaries. And by this method, we can limit the scope of the particular resources in an Active Directory environment. Next, we will move on to trees. A domain tree is nothing but a hierarchy of domains in ADDS. This is nothing but that in the previous example, we saw that an example for domain is contoso.com. Now let's say the administrator wants to create child domains such as abc.contoso.com and xyz.contoso.com. Well, this entire hierarchy of a parent-child relationship between domains is what is called a tree. So there are certain properties that are holded in a domains of the tree, one of which is sharing contiguous namespace with the parent domain. So in the example above also you can see, right, that abc.contoso.com is holding the same namespace as its parent domain called contoso.com, right? Secondly, the child domains can have additional domains. So abc.contoso.com can have something like 123.abc.contoso.com, or xyz could have something like fake.xyz.contoso.com, etc. Next, we will be taking a look at forests. So forest is nothing but a collection of one or more domain trees. If you have observed the pattern already, then great, but the pattern is something like this. First, we took a look at a domain, which is something like a contoso.com. Next, we took a look at trees, which is nothing but a parent-child kind of a structure in between domains. Now we are connecting multiple trees and we are calling it something called forest. Alright, so forests share a common schema. That is the most important point. So schema is nothing but the rule book of any object that exists in a Active Directory environment. Next, we have organizational units. They are also often referred to as OUs. Organizational units are the AD containers that can contain users, groups, computers, and other OUs. So let's say this is a kind of a storage place for all of the objects to be located at. All right. So these represent your organization hierarchically and logically. We will make a lot of sense while building an Active Directory lab. So for now, it is just very important to be familiar with the terminologies, and we can later build upon understanding the actual working behind each of these components in the lab session. So next component is trusts. Now trusts are of two types. One, we have something called a trusting domain, and we have something called a trusted domain. Now, if the trust direction flows from trusting domain to trusted domain, then it is called a directional trust. And what is a trust? Trust is nothing but a mechanism for users to gain access to resource in another domain. So, if the trusting domain is accessing resources from the trusted domain, then it is called directional trust. Second, we have something called transitive trust. Now, in mathematics, you usually study the transitive property. In transitive property, what we indicate is if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. The similar principle applies here. If there is a trust between two domains or two forests or two trees, say A and B, and there is another trust between B and C, then there is definitely a trust between A and C. So these kind of trusts are called as transitive trusts. And trusts are not necessarily restricted within the domains inside a forest. They can also extend outside the forest. Objects is the last logical component. Like I said, object is the smallest breakable part of an Active Directory environment. So everything that could be stored in an organizational unit is an object. So user, service, contacts, groups, inet.org person. So inet.org person is nothing but it is something similar to user accounts, and it is mainly used for compatibility with directory services. All right. So other objects like computers, printers, shared folders. So all of these things are objects. So with this information, we should be able to build our Active Directory lab in the next session. And until then, goodbye.